The shift at the campus library had run 2 hours over. Eli's phone read 11:47 p.m. as they approached stop 113A, a skeletal shelter perched at the edge of the Riverside subdivision like a forgotten monument. The sodium lamp above buzzed with that particular frequency that made your teeth ache, a sickly orange glow that turned the cracked asphalt beneath it into something that resembled diseased skin. Eli dropped onto the bench, exhaling hard. The plastic information panel beside them was scratched to hell, years of keys and coins leaving their marks. But as their eyes adjusted to the orange darkness, they noticed something else. Not random vandalism. Deliberate text, carved with precision into the plastic surface. Rules for stop 113A, night service only. Failure to comply voids your destination. Below it, 6 rules in careful block letters. Eli's first instinct was to laugh. Some elaborate prank by bored teenagers. But the carving was old. The edges worn smooth, the plastic around it yellowed with age. And there, across the street, sitting perfectly still on the opposite curb, was a figure in a trench coat and fedora. The figure was there. Eli was certain of that. But looking directly at it was like trying to focus on something through a smudged lens. The edges refused to sharpen. The details slipped away from comprehension. Eli looked back at the rules and began to read.
Rule 1. The footsteps. While waiting, you must tap your right foot against the asphalt in a steady rhythm. 3 taps, pause, 3 taps, pause. The sound must be constant and audible. If the tapping stops for more than 5 seconds, you will notice the figure across the street has moved closer. Do not let it reach the shelter. Eli read it twice. Their rational mind screamed stupid. This is stupid, but their foot was already moving. Tap, 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 pause, tap, 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 pause. The rhythm was hypnotic, grounding, and when Eli tested it, when they deliberately stopped for a count of 6, the figure was suddenly 3 feet closer to the yellow line dividing the street. Eli's foot resumed immediately. Tap, tap, tap. The figure didn't retreat, but it moved no closer. Their heart hammered. They forced themselves to keep reading. Rule 2, the device. You may use headphones. Volume must be set to exactly level 17. Do not play classical music of any kind. The writer interprets classical arrangements as an invitation. If classical music plays, the station's old intercom system will activate and provide instructions. These instructions are lies designed to help you board the wrong bus. Eli's hands shook as they pulled out their phone. Their default playlist, a mix of lo-fi beats and indie rock, sat ready. Volume slider, 17 out of 30. They pressed play. The music was a lifeline, something normal in this increasingly abnormal situation. But their library included a few Chopin nocturnes, some Debussy. Their thumb hovered over the shuffle button, then pulled back. Not worth the risk. Tap, tap, tap. Pause. Tap, tap, tap. The figure remained at its new position, unmoving, impossibly out of focus. Rule 3, the reflection. The glass display case contains the bus timetable. Do not look at your reflection in this glass. If you see yourself, you will see what you become if you fail. This knowledge creates the failure. The display case was right there, inches from Eli's face. In the periphery of their vision, they could see movement in the glass, a suggestion of their own face maybe, caught in the orange light. They turned their head away sharply, fixing their gaze on the street, on the empty road stretching into suburban darkness. Their foot maintained the rhythm. Their music played at exactly level 17. Don't look, don't look, don't look. Rule 4, the arrival test. When a bus approaches, you must turn your back to it and count slowly to 3 before looking. If you look immediately, you will see the passengers as they truly are. This sight makes it impossible to distinguish the correct bus from the wrong ones. At 12:14 a.m., headlights appeared in the distance. Eli's entire body tensed. The bus was coming, but the number wasn't visible yet. Their foot kept tapping. Tap, tap, tap. Pause. Tap, tap, tap. As they forced themselves to turn around, facing the back of the shelter, the bus's air brakes hissed as it slowed. 1. The door mechanism engaged with a pneumatic wheeze. 2. Silence. Waiting. Something in the air felt wrong, like the pressure before a thunderstorm. 3. Eli turned. The bus displayed 88, Riverside Loop in glowing letters, not 113A. Through the windows, Eli could see passengers, normal people in normal clothes, some scrolling through phones, others staring into space. Because they had followed Rule 4, because they had counted. The door remained closed. After 10 seconds, the bus pulled away. Eli's breath came in short gasps. Their foot had never stopped tapping. Until Rule 5, the communication. If the wrong bus stops and the driver asks where you are going, you must answer with exactly these words: "I'm waiting for my proper route." Any other answer, including the name of your actual destination, will cause the bus to take you there, but in the wrong time. You will arrive at a place that no longer exists as you remember it. At 12:31 a.m., another bus approached. Eli executed the turn, the count, the look back. This bus read 66, Downtown Express. Wrong bus. But this time, the door opened with a mechanical sigh. The driver, or what appeared to be a driver, looked down at Eli. The orange sodium light made it impossible to see their face clearly, just the suggestion of features, the whites of eyes. "Where are you going?" Eli's mouth went dry. Every instinct screamed to say Campus Village Apartments or home or anywhere but here. Instead, they forced out the exact words: "I'm waiting for my proper route." The driver's head tilted slightly. For 3 long seconds, nothing happened. Then the door closed. The bus pulled away. Eli's foot kept tapping. Tap, tap, tap. Pause. Their hands were shaking so badly they nearly dropped their phone. Rule 6. The exit rule. When bus 113A arrives, board quickly and take any seat. Once seated, do not look back at the bus stop. If you look back, you will see the truth. The shelter never existed in your timeline. You accessed a liminal structure that exists between proper hours and proper places. This realization will trap you outside your correct reality. You will become like the rider, forever waiting, forever out of focus. At 12:58 a.m., the correct bus finally arrived. 113A, night service. Eli didn't even wait for the full stop. They stood, foot still tapping until the last possible second, and lunged for the door as it opened. The driver was a normal middle-aged woman with tired eyes and a name tag reading Gloria. "Rough night?" she asked, something like sympathy in her voice. "You have no idea," Eli managed. They found a seat halfway back. The bus was empty except for one other passenger near the front, an elderly man sleeping against the window. Normal. Everything was normal. The bus pulled away from stop 113. Eli's entire body screamed at them to look back, to confirm the shelter was still there, to verify this nightmare had been real. Their neck muscles tensed, their head began to turn. Do not look back. They forced themselves forward, gripping the seat in front of them, staring at the advertisement for a personal injury lawyer mounted above the windows. They counted the words in the ad. They studied the lawyer's unsettling smile. They did anything but look back. The bus merged onto the main road. Streetlights began to appear with normal regularity. The tension in the air dissipated like morning fog. Eli reached their apartment at 1:37 a.m. The walk from the actual bus stop, the normal one, 3 blocks from their building, felt like returning from another world. They showered, changed, made tea they didn't drink, tried to convince themselves it had been exhaustion, stress, the paranoia that comes with isolation and late hours. At 2:15 a.m., they gave up on sleep and went to their window. Their apartment had a view of the main road. If you looked southwest, you could just make out the edge of Riverside subdivision. And there, barely visible in the distance, was a single point of sickly orange light. Eli watched it for 5 minutes, 10, 15. Then they pulled up Google Maps on their phone, zoomed in on the intersection where stop 113A should have been. The satellite view showed a cracked slab of asphalt, a single lamppost, and nothing else. No shelter, no bench, no bus stop structure of any kind. The street view option was grayed out, unavailable for that specific location. Eli zoomed in further, switching to terrain view, then back to satellite. In one of the older cached images, dated from 2019, they could just make out a rectangular shadow on the asphalt, a ghost of something that had been there, or would be there, or existed only in the wrong hours, in the spaces between proper time. They set down their phone and looked back out the window at the orange light, still buzzing in the distance. Somewhere out there, the figure in the trench coat and fedora sat on a curb, waiting. out of focus, patient, and Eli knew, with the terrible certainty that comes from surviving something impossible, that they had been 6 rules away from becoming that figure. 6 rules away from waiting forever at a bus stop that didn't exist, trying to board buses that would never take them anywhere real. The tap-tap-tap rhythm was still echoing in their muscle memory. They pulled the curtains closed and didn't look toward Riverside Subdivision again. But they never took the night bus again either, and they never, ever played classical music on their headphones, just in case. End transmission stop 113. A continues to appear on transit schedules marked night service only. The City Transit Authority has no record of authorizing this designation. GPS coordinates place it at a location described in maps as vacant lot, scheduled for development since 1983. Development has not occurred. The light remains on.